Hey everybody, welcome to Big Valley Living. It has been a wonderful Thanksgiving season, and now it's time to make leftovers with that turkey. So you probably have your own family favorites, but I'm going to share one of ours with you today. This is cream turkey over toast. Come on to the kitchen and let me show you how to make it. You are never going to believe how delicious this is. On my electric stove, I went ahead and turned the burner on to medium, so I'm at about 5.5. And while it's just getting a little bit warmer before I start adding ingredients, I'm going to go over the ingredient list with you. We're going to use 1/2 of a stick of butter, salted or unsalted, it's up to you. We're going to, after that, we're going to be using flour. Now I have a cup here, but it is very doubtful that I'm going to go much more than 1/2 cup to 3/4, but I want to make sure I have it ready if I need it. Then what I'm going to do is whisk in some milk, and I have 2 cups to start with. This is a 2% milk, and then I have some more milk on the side if I need it. I'm hoping 2 to 3 cups is all I need. 2 cups of shredded turkey. This is just turkey breast that we had left over from our Thanksgiving turkey. You can use whatever meat you'd like. And then obviously freshly ground pepper and some nice sea salt. And you will want to be somewhat generous with those 2 ingredients. In addition to using a whisk, you're also going to want to use something like a bamboo or wooden tool or spoon to get going. And 2 cans of organic sliced mushrooms. I think canned mushrooms really make this. They're already done. It makes it super fast. And then of course, it wouldn't be cream turkey over toast if we didn't have ourselves, a little bit of white bread. Now you can use whatever bread you want. This is the way we've always done it because there was always leftover white bread from my mom making stuffing. So this just kind of just goes hand in hand with our family recipes. I know that's ready. So let's get to it. Now the butter's melted and you can see it's not too dark. It's nice and foamy, and this is the perfect time to add a little bit of flour. And the goal here, I'm turning it up like just a 1/2 notch. Okay, the goal here is that we're gonna brown the flour off a tiny bit to get rid of that raw floury taste. And you see how I'm sprinkling it very lightly? Because we don't want so much flour that we have to use a whole gallon of milk. This is a roux if you're not, if you're not familiar with cooking terms. That's what we're making. Okay, so it's starting to come up. If you go straight in with your whisk, you're gonna regret it. So I'm just gonna get this incorporated with the flour. And once it's incorporated with the flour, we're just gonna let it cook for about 35 to 40 seconds here. Doesn't need too much to just get rid of that raw flour taste. You want this sauce to be nice and smooth. So we don't want to brown this like toasty brown, and that it already smells more buttery and less floury. So if that helps, I hope it does. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going back down to about 5.5 on my stove. See how it's just starting to turn brown? There you go. Now slowly add this milk. There we go. Plus you don't want to ruin your pan. Okay. And I turned it down because of if you have your heat too high, you run the risk of everything clumping up and the butter boiling, and it'll just you run the risk of your water or your milk boiling, and then what happens is it gets thick too quickly, and you have to just keep kind of chasing your tail. See how quickly that's thickening up on medium? So it takes a little time. This meal really comes together in maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes at the most. Look at that, just getting thicker and thicker. So I think I will probably have to break into a little bit more milk. But again, let's do it slowly. Okay, now I've been doing this for about a minute. If you have a hack for making sure that you don't have lumps when you're making a roux, by all means, leave a comment below. While you're doing that, if you'd go ahead and hit the logo if you're on your phone or computer and subscribe, we sure would appreciate it. Certainly share this with your friends. But see, now it's getting nice and smooth. And we are gonna add, I'm gonna whisk a little bit more. We're gonna add a little salt and pepper. We're gonna add a little bit more milk. And we've been at this for no more than about 4 minutes, from the very beginning. This is nice and creamy. So I went ahead and put 2 more cups of milk in my measuring cup. And I'm gonna put 1 full cup in there, get it incorporated. You can add more milk at one time once you kind of have it going. But I wouldn't have put the 2 in all at once because it'll break back down again and you have to break lumps. Okay, so while that's continuing, let's do a generous sprinkle of sea salt. This is really bland, right? We've got flour and milk in there, and there's just not a whole lot of flavor. And salt and pepper is really all you need in this to make it taste good. Now, if you're just measuring this out, I'd say give yourself about a half a teaspoon for this amount. Half a teaspoon each of pepper and salt. Yes, you're gonna see it. Yes, you're gonna smell it. And yes, you want it that way. Oh yeah, this is really looking good. This is one of our very favorite leftovers. JJ sometimes in the middle of the summer wants to just go get a small turkey breast and cook it. I did end up with 4 cups of milk, and I won't need any more. And we'll cook up a turkey just so that we can have this leftover. So that tells you how yummy it is. Now, that's gonna tighten up a little bit. Now that all the lumps are out, I'm gonna switch back to my wooden spoon or utensil because we are just about ready to put the meat in and the mushrooms, and we're really only putting those 2 things in to heat up. I want this to be a little thicker though before I add those ingredients. While I'm letting that warm up before we put everything in, we're gonna go ahead and get our bread toasting. Now you can just toast this to whatever darkness or lightness you want, but please toast your bread. Don't put it over plain bread because it's really not very good. You need the toast to hold up to that liquid. And another hack for you, if you're making a lot of toast, get something like this out, like a cake rack, and put it on the counter so that as you're making more toast, it doesn't sit on a plate and get soggy. Now I want you to see what this looks like. It's just starting to bubble up in the pan. And when I whisk it, it's thick, but it's not, standing still, if you will. It's still gonna thicken up a little bit when we add the other items. I've got toast coming up now, so that's good. See how it's sticking to that? You want it to definitely be sticking to your spoon. But you don't want to put all of your turkey or your mushrooms in until you know that it's starting to get to the right sweet spot, I guess, for thickness. Now we're gonna go ahead and sprinkle this in. I shredded it. You can dice it. You can just pull it into pieces, whatever. Now I just said that this was just for JJ and I. This is quite a bit. I really just, honestly guys, I don't know how to make a small batch of this. And look at this, this is perfect. Now, you could, if you had leftover, let's say broccoli from the night before or some plain green beans, go ahead and chop them up and throw them in here right at the end to heat up. Or we were just talking about it, some frozen peas would be good in here heated through. We've never done that, so I am just showing you what we enjoy, and you are welcome to make this your own. Everything's heated through. As you can see, there's nothing sticking to the pan. This thickness is absolutely perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and serve it up. And a neighbor of mine just called, and she's actually gonna pop in and help us eat what we can't. And I'm gonna turn that down now just to keep it a little bit warm. And this is how we dish it up, okay? So just go ahead, get yourself a nice little piece of toast on your plate. Now this is gonna be your own preference. I'm bouncing all over, guys, sorry about that. I like to be able to have a little bit extra, but you don't have to just swallow the plate up with it. Make sure to get mushrooms and everything. And there you have it. Cream turkey over toast. We think your family's gonna love it.
And it is yummy.
Thanks a lot for visiting Big Valley Living, and we'll see you the next time.
See you later, everybody.
Be kind.